Now at 6, a KGW weather impact alert as high wind has the potential to knock out power for Christmas Eve.
I think the thing that everyone's got going on in their mind right now is, man, this is tough timing.
Also tonight, a struggling Portland neighborhood suddenly loses even more businesses.
I know that we've been in Oldtown holding the block down for a long time, but it's time to move on.
Then, why city leaders say early holiday shopping stats are encouraging.
I think we've definitely turned a corner this year.
Plus, not much snow, but a whole lot of stoke.
Skiing is freedom, so I get to go wherever and do whatever.
Why this year's start to Mount Hood ski season is now making history.
First at 6, we begin with what may be the calm before a Christmas Eve storm, which means we're declaring a KGW weather impact alert. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanet.
And I'm David Molko. We're once again talking about gusty winds strong enough to take down trees and power lines and potentially to disrupt holiday travel. I know, right? Perfect timing. Let's get right to live team coverage, starting with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. So, Joe, what's the very latest?
Well, hey, I don't want to sound dramatic here, but if you haven't had a chance to wrap up your gifts, I do it now because there's a chance that you could be doing it with no power and in the dark if this windstorm does hold to fruition. So, wind advisory will be in place from 7 a.m. tomorrow until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. This red color is a high wind warning through parts of southern Oregon. There's also a wind advisory through the east side of the state. So it could be pretty impactful. Not a whole lot of agreement on the track, but I'm expecting to see this system coming in from Northern California, bringing in widespread wind and breezy conditions from tomorrow afternoon, late morning, I should say, in the early part of the afternoon. So here's a look at the weather headlines for the weather impact alert. Wind advisory most of the day tomorrow with gusts anywhere from 50 to 50 mile per hour, but there's a chance a few models I'm seeing could produce gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Again, make sure you have some flashlights nearby and have your cell phone charged up because we could be losing power here for a short time late tomorrow morning into the afternoon. Gusts will be picking up between, I'd say, noon and 1 o'clock. By 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys, it's pretty much all done. But if there's power outages, it could take a while for people to get back those lights, especially as they get ready to have some celebrations for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
Yeah, appreciate you keeping us updated on all this, Joe. Thank you.
All right, team coverage continues with Devin Haskins. Now, Devin, once again, the big concern, the power going out, especially on a holiday. What are you hearing?
Yeah, we talked with both PGE and Pacific Power. Both companies saying their crews will be prepared, but also ready to move wherever those power outages happen. Recognize not exactly the best timing because of the rain last week, saturating those tree roots, but also the holiday week or holidays coming up later this week.
Christmas Eve could be a busy day for power crews and a stressful time for anyone hoping to keep the lights on through the holiday. Power companies say the timing couldn't be worse.
I think the thing that everyone's got going on in their mind right now is, man, this is tough timing. This is tough.
PGE serves about 2 million customers in our region. They say the storm will impact their entire service area. With wind gusts predicted in the 30 to 50 mile an hour range, a big concern is trees with root bases already soaked from all the rain.
When the rain really gets into the soil after a while, it does loosen up the soil. And so when we have those southerly winds, it can impact trees a little more than it would, say, in like August or September.
And whatever comes, they say they'll be ready.
Last week, we used a lot of power poles, a lot of cables, but we still have plenty of material, plenty of supplies ready to go. If and when we have to use it.
Pacific Power, the other major provider in Oregon, serves over 600,000 customers in Oregon.
Depending on where the impacts are, we're able to have the flexibility to move them to the areas most impacted.
And both power companies are urging customers to prepare now. Have a plan in place when the power's out. Update your contact info with your utility company. And
making sure you have an outage kit. That can mean extra batteries, flashlights, blankets, any non-perishable items, so you have extra food around.
Well, best case scenario, obviously, no power outages. But in case of a power outage, always a good idea to have that cell phone charged. But also, if you do come across a power line down, always treat it as live, no matter if you see it sparking or not. They say that doesn't always happen. Back to you.
Yeah, going to go home and make sure my power banks are charged up tonight, just in case. Thank you, Devin. Yep. We'll stay up to date on the forecast All you have to do is just text the word weather to the number on your screen. That's 503-226-5088, and we'll text you right over a link to our story on KGW.com. It is updated multiple times throughout the day, so you get the most accurate forecast. You can also download the KGW mobile app or tune in anytime on our free TV app, KGW+.
Doesn't hurt to fill up the gas tank either. Meanwhile, the weather is cause for celebration on Mount Hood, where after a late start, yes, it is finally ski season.
Celine Stevens visited Mount Hood Meadows, which opened today, to see all the excitement.
Ski season may have started late, but if anything, that just got people even more excited to be out here hitting the slopes. Now, although not every lift is open, especially for the more advanced trails, hundreds of skiers still came out to enjoy the fresh snow.
We're all rearing to go, get out on the snow.
Oh, I'm a Meadows fan. It's my mountain home, so I love it here.
This today is great. This is not bad at all. So everyone just loves it.
It's opening day of ski season for Mount Hood Meadows after a slow start this year.
It's taken a while for Mother Nature to deliver us some snow.
Better late than never, yeah, but it was pretty hard to take all that rain and waiting for this snow.
Greg Pack, president of Mount Hood Meadows Ski Resort, says his team did an amazing job making sure they were ready to open.
We needed to haul snow around. We have incredible snow hauling capabilities. Took stuff from our parking lot, put it in lower areas on the mountain to build ramps and stuff like that.
The work paid off on opening day.
We have our ballroom carpet open, we have a buttercup lift, and we also have Daisy and Easy Rider. So we have 4 different lifts open.
Well, the ones we love aren't open yet, but we're enjoying just being able to be on Meadows again.
Just the freedom, in the powder snow, just being up on the mountain too is a lot of it.
The more advanced trails having to hold off on opening until more snow falls, but that didn't stop some from having a blast.
We were just excited to get up to the mountain, and this was our first chance. Plus, it's my son's birthday, so it worked out well.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Last year, this resort opened in mid-November, and Pack says this is the latest start the resort has ever had. He says advanced online tickets sold out for the first 2 days, but while the slopes were busy, in a typical season, they'd usually see a lot more people.
Today we only have 1,000 or so, a little over 1,000, but it's not a lot of terrain. Well, this time of year, that's about 20% of what we do normally on a day like today.
For many, the excitement of getting back out on the slopes with family made up for the late start.
I'm here with my son, Lincoln. And my other half, Kimmy's up on the hill somewhere still. Skiing is freedom, so I get to go wherever and do whatever.
Timberline Ski Resort opened over the weekend, and Ski Bowl is expected to open on Christmas Day. As for here at Meadows, night skiing is not yet open because they need a bit more snow on the ground. Meadows hours are from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. At Mount Hood Meadows, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
To new developments tonight surrounding the Trump administration's attempts to send National Guard troops to American cities. The U.S. Supreme Court has now turned down an emergency request from the administration to deploy the Guard in Chicago, essentially letting a lower court ruling stand. The court rejected, with 3 justices dissenting, the administration's argument that the situation on the ground was so chaotic that it justified sending in troops. While it is a preliminary decision that only involves Chicago, to likely bolster other cities that have challenged potential deployments, such as Portland. In Portland's lawsuit, by the way, a judge permanently barred the Trump administration from sending in troops to protect federal facilities in response to the ruling. Governor Tina Kotek releasing a statement tonight saying, part quote, "In Oregon, 100 service members remain in limbo. It is past time for President Trump to send them home."
New tonight, Portland police now believe stolen copper wiring contributed to a deadly crash this month near the airport. Investigators shared this picture of the damaged wires inside a transfer box, which controls the traffic lights. This happened at I-205 and Airport Way the morning of Thursday, December 11th. Police say a semi-truck turned onto Airport Way where the traffic lights were not working and collided with a motorcycle. The motorcyclist, 52-year-old James Goldsmith from Fairview, was killed. Police hope people reach out if they saw someone tampering with the traffic control box near the southbound I-205 off-ramp and Airport Way.
The Washington State Patrol is looking for a second vehicle it believes was involved in the death of a trooper near the port of Tacoma. Trooper Tara Marissa Guting died last Friday, authorities say, after she was hit multiple times while responding to a crash. Now, the first driver remained at the scene. The second, investigators say, was in a dark-colored pickup. that struck the trooper while she was already lying motionless on the ground. That truck kept driving south.
She's gone out and handled 1,000 of these crashes, right? And unfortunately, this time she didn't get to go home. And we need to solve this crime.
The first driver has not been charged. Troopers continue to hold a 24-hour vigil over her vehicle at a memorial outside State Trooper headquarters.
Back in Portland, 2 businesses are leaving the city's Oldtown neighborhood, and we're told more could follow. Blair Best also spoke with other businesses hoping to stick it out.
Oldtown is a hub of social services, places where homeless people can go for food, shelter, treatment, you name it. But that's all taking a toll on the small businesses here just trying to get by. Monday morning in Portland's Oldtown neighborhood, a familiar scene. Paramedics respond to an overdose on the corner of Northwest 6th Avenue and Cooch Street.
It's a rough reality, but I think what really needs to be focused on is the people here that need help.
The street crisis, no doubt, has its impact on those trying to run a business in Oldtown.
We've been making sandwiches in Oldtown for over a decade.
Charles Matuk runs Charlie's Deli. His neighbor, Deadstock Coffee Roasters, is leaving at the end of this month.
God, I wish we had a better stay in the neighborhood.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, E-Weezy.
The coffee company made the announcement on social media.
On December 31st, we're gonna be leaving from here. I know that we've been in Oldtown holding the block down for a long time, but it's time to move on.
We, of course, are sad to see him go.
Levi Martinez works at this leather shop on the same block.
We definitely have been broken into here.
He's thinking of moving too.
I think, Oldtown has definitely been changing, and with Deadstock living and not having enough people in this area will definitely help us to think about the relocation.
This month, Index PDX, a sneaker consignment store, announced it's closing its Oldtown location after more than 12 years and going fully online.
I've heard a few other businesses that I can see right out the window that might not be sticking around more than a few more months.
A spokesperson for Portland Mayor Keith Wilson tells KGW the city of Portland values the contributions that Deadstock Coffee Roasters and Index PDX have made to Oldtown. Prosper Portland has worked to support them through challenges, including decrease of worker and tourism foot traffic in Oldtown, livability and public safety concerns, and the related decline in sales they've experienced.
We're in a social services neighborhood. I don't know that social services have taken the responsibility of making sure that their clientele, is respectful of neighboring businesses.
Charles holds out hope.
We're sticking out. We decided to stay another 10 years. We moved from 4th to 5th and signed another 10-year lease, so we're not going anywhere.
A city spokesperson tells me revitalizing Portland's economy with a focus on downtown businesses is the mayor's next push as we step into the new year. In Oldtown, Blair Best, KGW News.